every once in a while, I have what I think is a pretty cool idea. And today I'm hoping this is one of them. So, a little bit of a chaos box going on. I'm going to open up a bunch of different packs of Magic. We're going to give our thoughts on Wilds of Eldraine. It's an interesting set to say the least. I want to just, get a couple things out there and give you guys something to watch while I do it. So, I'm here with Mr. Kloop. We're getting started with some Modern Horizons. Personally, my favorite set. I wish every set could be looked back on and feel as great as Modern Horizons. Getting back to Wilds of Eldraine, I'm still staying cautious about it personally. I don't love that they did a whole bunch of reprints already. All right, for Commander Masters, and as much as I don't like Commander Masters either, and I think it's funny. Like it's funny that they did that, but at the same time, it's like not a good thing. Two things can be true at once. So it was definitely it's cool, but it's also bad, at least in my opinion. But hey, if you're after doubling season and you don't want to pay a premium for Commander Masters, just get the Wilds of Eldraine. Other than that, though, the set seems to be received pretty good. People seem to be really liking the cards. I think there's a lot of powerful cards. Seeing like low drop. I think what were you saying? Like
a lot of enchantments.
Yeah, isn't there also like a blue creature you said that's like a four attack?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of cards that have low mana
Profane
and
Tutor?
high
All
attack.
right.
Like it's literally ridiculous. I saw 3/2 for 1 mana, which is just unreal when it comes down to it. That's just very powerful. Magic Historian has talked about the power creep, and it is insane.
I like I like low power cards that make like drafts chaotic. And Wilds of Eldraine seems like it's going to be a pretty chaotic draft. I could be wrong on that, but from the cards I've seen so far, I think it's going to be definitely a fun draft to do. Same with Sealed. It's arguably the most I've been looking forward for anything with Standard. Probably in over... Ooh, all right, Scion of Draco, not bad. Probably at least a year or two. I mean, the last set of Standard that at least I truly loved was probably Kamigawa. I think that was like my last favorite set. And even before that, I didn't really like all the sets that were coming out before that. So to have a set that at least I'm excited about, I can't speak to anybody else. What do you guys think about that? Like, tell us in the comments from a perspective of Standard, not just the cards. Like, are you planning on playing Standard? Does Wilds of Eldraine do anything for you? I don't think we'll be playing Standard. I just... The days of being hyped to go to our LGS to play Standard Magic is just gone. Like, I'd be more willing to go play Modern. Quite frankly, I'm a little scared because those guys will club you over the head like a baby seal. But moving on over to Dominaria Remastered. Commander, I like Commander. I need to get better at it. We play a lot of Flesh and Blood. And Commander definitely takes some planning and some thought to put a deck together that's actually fun. Oh, Call of Herd. I feel like we haven't opened it any. All right. Force of Will. Are you kidding me?
Finally.
Yo, not bad. See, this is cool. And this card's still worth like what?
50, 60 bucks.
Even out of this?
It's like the most expensive counter card of all time.
All right. We'll take that. That is a solid ass win, you guys. Test of Endurance.
Okay.
Yo.
A mythic foil?
A double mythic non-collector pack. Yo, someone call WotC because they messed something up on that one.
Wow.
That was great. I almost paid for the box. But, I mean, this was another set, too, that it just came and went so fast that people like had no time to get attached to it or really... get into it again, but this is a great set.
Yep.
Entomb, fancy artwork. Nice. Renewed Faith. I love the old land cards. I am grabbing it. Where's it at? Entomb. See, the thing with new Magic cards, at least again in my opinion, is that they're not bad. And that's what kind of is frustrating about it. It's the cards themselves aren't bad. The sets typically aren't bad. It's just how they're doing it. And I was telling Kluk this. I'm at the point now where I don't think the reserve list is something I as a collector, I don't really care anymore. I really don't think it's going to be as destructive as people say if they were to get rid of it. And Yu-Gi-Oh does really well for itself. Debatably more popular. I mean, even if it is a debate, I think it is just more popular than Magic. They don't care about that stuff. There's like no cards that are never reprinted in Yu-Gi-Oh unless they were offensive in some capacity and they're actually banned. But those cards do well. And yeah, are there $400, $500, $1,000 cards? There's a few, not nearly as many as like in Magic, for example. But at the same time, if you had $30,000 in a whole bunch of $20 to $500 cards, or you had $30,000 in 10 or 20 cards, does it really matter? And Chris was saying, well, maybe it does a little bit. And I was saying, well, here's the problem. If you try to split, like, which one's going to be easier to sell?
That's a good card right there, Jess.
This one?
Chainer.
Yeah. I was, you ruined my mojo there. But, you know, if you're trying to sell these cards, do you think you're going to have an easier time selling an original Demonic Tutor or one of the reprints? Because me as a player, moving on up to Kalnheim, guys. Actually, no. We're going to do a core first.
Cool.
Me as a player, if I'm not a collector, I'm going to buy the cheapest Demonic Tutor that I'm allowed to play. And so it's going to be harder, in my opinion, to move some of those older cards regardless. And if they just reprint them, like, really, what's the damage? Again, if you have a collection that's worth X amount of money, is it spread out through a whole bunch of cards that are easier to sell or a couple cards that are a little bit more difficult to sell? Not bad. And that's why I just don't see it being too devastating. I don't see original reserve list cards being just absolutely destroyed in value. We can get a couple Triumphs, I'd be hyped.
Oh yeah, I love Triumphs. This is a great set. This is what brought us back. Ikoria was awesome.
But I don't know. It's in a weird place. Like I said, at this point, if they want to keep the game great, they should just... I just think that they shouldn't be afraid to consider reprinting it. All right, the Titan 8, not bad. And they don't need to reprint all of it. They don't even need to. They could skate around it and print the same effect through a different card for cards that are on the reserve.
Legal, and I think it's fine.
But who cares? They don't even really hold tournaments. Like your LGS does. Oh yeah, heck yeah. But they don't do like what Flesh and Blood's doing, for example. And look at Flesh and Blood cards. They've reprinted a bunch of the legendaries from Flesh and Bloods numerous times. Spring Tunic for Fab players out there, it's worth more now than it pretty much ever has been last I checked. So and it's been reprinted a bunch of times. It's been in like 3 sets. So call Kamigawa. And those cards are worth a bunch. So you can't really argue that reprinting cards just outright destroys their value. They're still scarce. They're still legendaries in each set. It's not like they turned it from a legendary to like a mythic or a rare. That would kill the value 100%. But they just basically give you another opportunity to get it at the same odds. So it's still hard to get, and that keeps them somewhat rare. But at the same time, it also keeps their prices pretty high. And that's just a case of it working for me. And Lion Sash. The other thing, and I feel like it's not quite as bad. It's actually, I take that back. I think it's more a little bit like Stockholm Syndrome, where it's just been this way long enough where you feel like it's not that bad. But they print too much product. I mean, if you look at a year worth of releases for Flesh and Blood versus a year worth of releases for Magic, it's astronomical. I mean, you have Commander sets coming out. You got Modern sets coming out. You got standalone. You got Secret Lair, and just how many sets a year come out? Like what?
It's unreal. I mean, they're trying to cut back. They say, but they just
the Commie War, not bad. They're trying to cut back, and like I said, it kind of feels like maybe it's not as bad as it was in like 2021, 2022, but it's still pretty bad. Oh, these are the packs where it started to be hard to open.
How things change.
All right. I'm like most stoked on the art cards, to be honest with you. I got a long-term project that I will reveal on this channel when I actually do it. I promise. That's not just It's not just a talking point. That is happening. And that is just such a shame, really, because, like I was saying, these sets are great. Like Brothers War. Does anyone remember? Hello? Brothers War.
Yeah.
That actually happened, and that was not a fever dream.
That was good.
And that was a good set. It just got no love because, what was that? Baldur's Gate was coming out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it already came out.
I think it came out like right before or after that, and it just, oh no.
What?
Guys, we might not be getting into this one. Oh, just had to pull it really hard and hope for the best. But no one remembers that set, and that's the important thing. Okay, somehow we got a mythic right on the front.
Cool. Oh, and the tree, Crucible, Rat of that. Those are two good cards.
Oh yeah, this is the set where they're in the front.
Japan, Japanese.
Yeah, they just like their dopamine hit as soon as they open the pack, and then depression the rest of the pack, I guess. But see, people not getting attached to the cards and having like time. I feel like I've said that a million times. That is the single most important thing that makes a set, when looked back on, good or bad. Ooh, this is one of the slightly better ones. It's got the art signature on it. So that's pretty sweet. Throw that in the Doom pile.
Oh, the rare's right there.
The rares are all right here. I mean, I'll fly through them just to, give some service to the artists who work so hard. But these sets need to take a little bit longer. There needs to be a little bit more breathing room. Flesh and Blood does what, every 4 months?
Every 4 months, sure.
And that's a solid amount of time. And with Flesh and Blood's model, it's okay if and Magic needs to learn. Magic players, for once, I'm not blaming WotC. Magic players need to accept, and this will probably get me to get the thumbs down button. That's fine. But you don't need to buy every set. You don't need to buy every product. People are like, oh, I can't handle buying every set. They're like, well, then stop. Don't buy every set. I mean, Chris and I have like no desire to really buy any of the Doctor Who sets. So if you're looking for that on the channel, probably not going to be a whole lot with it, honestly, because I just have no desire for it. And that's fine. And you don't have to love every set. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
You don't have to love every set, and you don't have to feel obligated to buy every set. And that's totally cool. That doesn't mean it's a bad product. That doesn't mean that WotC is evil. They're just giving you options. At no point, I mean, they're not going to complain for sure if you do buy every set, but at no point has Wizards said we expect you to buy every set. And with like Flesh and Blood, there's been sets where like Chris wasn't as interested in, but I was, or he was way more interested in that I wasn't, because it didn't appeal to my hero, or I didn't like the heroes that they had in that set. But that's totally cool, because James and LSS, they want you to buy cards you're interested in. And I don't know why that's so easy to understand in like the Flesh and Blood community, and it's so impossible to understand in Magic. I think it's probably because of your condition, because back in the day, these sets were spread out longer. All right, now for the big guys.
I can't wait.
Little core set. 2003, my dudes. Careful, look out. This is advanced level stuff, so if you're not advanced level, guys, I'd recommend turning off the video. But I think that's where it probably came from. Back in the day, Magic cards were just a little bit more spread out, and people were cool with it. But now it's just bigger. It's just more product, more market, and you don't have to buy every single thing. No one's out here being a glory seeker, and if you are, then you should stop. Twiddle some thumbs. It's a holy day. Watch out for the lone wolf. Be a lone wolf. Or the swarm of rats. I can't keep doing that, but that's kind of funny. Eastern Paladin. Right. That is the least paladin looking motherfucker I've ever seen. And we're enough time in where I won't get in trouble for that, I'm pretty sure, so we're good. Core set, 8th edition. Not a lot of value. There's a couple cards that are nice. The foils. This is like one of the first sets that had foils. I don't think it was the first, but it's one of the first. And it was back when foils meant something. You're not going to find any kind of full art cards or anything like that in here. I mean, this is probably starting to be the end of the OG artwork. Yeah, I remember this card. I didn't notice it on the first one we got, but I always thought this looked like Vegeta, like Saiyan armor when I was a kid. Well, I feel like this is like a repeat of that last pack. Wall of Spears. All right. Let's Lava Hounds.
All right, one more.
Let's see if we can get a foil on the last pack, you guys. I hope you guys had fun. I thought it was kind of cool idea. We both wanted to open some packs, but wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I may have spoiled something in there. Let's see if we're gonna get excited. It's so hard not to spoil it.
It got spoiled.
It got spoiled. I see a black border in here, you guys. I'm getting a little nausea thinking about it. Better not be a land twiddling on back there. The Hulk and Cyclops gonna come out and get you and chastise your ass. What's up? It's a land. How about them apples? Oh yeah, like and subscribe. 500 subs. We're giving away, not out of this box because this box is empty, but we're giving 4 packs, Double Masters 22 from a box that's not empty. Goodbye.
Damn, dude.